everyone. Today I will talk about Hasan Yılmaz teacher. Can you please read this book? It was very enjoyable for me to read it and it made me think about my future. I think every teacher and prospective teacher should definitely read it because maybe this book can be fully useful to students when taken as an example. For the first question, how should teachers be, is the central idea discussed in the book. The author states that his primary aim was to increase the teachers' options and to provide opportunities for teachers to develop and change. He also asked his readers to think about how they could apply these ideas and knowledge during the school day. The author is influenced by his own experiences and the experiences of others, helping teachers to become sensible and change, first as human beings and then as teachers. The author also frequently mentioned in the book that teachers are human beings first and then become teachers. He wanted his students to think that they also passed through the roads they passed while doing their jobs, and wanted them to work without losing human feelings. What is explored in the book is scientific as well as the personal, educational, spiritual and psychological. For the second question, I can say that the subject of this book actually affects my whole future from now on. On this path, I took to become a teacher. I am studying with the students thanks to our school, and I must be able to give him the best education. I will definitely apply what I have learned from this book. If I continue in this profession, it's my duty to provide the best education to my students in my classes. As long as I am a teacher who is not boring, who can smile, who can understand her students, and who helps them strive for the better in their failures. I think that it will contribute positively to the future for the children. In short, what I have learned from this book affected me as well as my students through me. For the third question, actually there were many stories that affected me. I marked them all, but if I were to talk about the two that I remember the most, there was a story. There are three workers in this story, and a man went to them while they were working and asked what they were doing. They all took different approaches, but all three were doing the same job. We can actually think of children as these workers. Even though they are in the same class, they are all different and unique from each other. And we should accept them as such, not try to put them in a certain mold. This was a meaningful story for me because our education system is unfortunately geared towards molding children and is a huge obstacle for these children to discover their talents. Kids are always just preparing for the exams. In another story, it can be mentioned that the echo is the life of people when the father and son talk about the repetition of what they say by using the echo. What you give to the life, you get in return for what you do in life. It can be said that those who do good will find favor. I hope everyone prefers to be on this side. For the last question, the book contributes a lot to me in terms of being a better person and being a useful teacher. I will try to identify my shortcomings in these matters and make changes in myself immediately. I can say that it has definitely broadened my perspective, and I will be more careful all of these topics mentioned in that book. And unfortunately, I have observed that the misconceptions described were by some of my teachers in my old schools. It's possible to deal with this issue personally and socially. I evaluated it from both perspectives, but Trying to change every teacher from a social point of view can only be if they want. But how many teachers in our country would prefer this right now? The author also had stories from the other cultures, but when we thought that he was a retired teacher from our country, the book was more about the general culture related to our country. Thanks for watching my video. It will definitely be a book that you will enjoy reading and that will add something to you. Please give this book a chance. You won't regret it. Thanks for this opportunity.